Well, friends, that'll do it for this episode of Living Local. A big thank you to Amplify Health by Gunderson for stopping in. Remember, you can log on to gundersonhealth.org to get all of the information on what Amplify by Gunderson does and how they can help. Also, major thanks to Chris Schreier for stopping in and talking about the Budweiser Dairyland Super National Truck and Tractor Pull in beautiful Toma, Wisconsin. Tickets are on sale now. In fact, you can follow that there QR code right there to get those tickets right this very second. And remember, they're cheaper online than at the door, so why wait? Get your tickets right now, friends. There are 5 different shows over 3 days of action, and none more special than the Friday afternoon session from 9 to 11 on Friday, June 26th. Bring the youngsters down for the Kids Club. They'll get a lunch, a t-shirt, and the opportunity to meet the drivers and get autographs. Then, a full slate of pulls kicks off at noon that same day. Get all the info, including cheaper tickets, by following that QR code and start planning your Budweiser Dairyland Super National Truck and Tractor Pull in majestic Toma, Wisconsin today. Okay, if you haven't gotten that QR code just yet, you can also log on to tomatractorpull.com. All of the same discounts will apply. Real quick, a little bit of housekeeping. This Sunday, May 31st, we'll be airing another of our destination specials. For those that have no idea what that is, each month I travel around my favorite part of the country, western Wisconsin and southeastern Minnesota, to visit the people and places that make our area so very special. I've traveled the Great River Road. I did a whole episode on the city of Ladysmith. I've talked date night, mom, recreational fun, whole lot more. You got to check it out for yourself. And this Sunday, I'm paying attention to our 4-legged friends. Well, some of our friends also have 8 legs or no legs at all. I'm talking about our pets, of course. Destination Pet Lovers is this Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Join me as I visit some puppies, some kitties, some fish, even, believe it or not, I visit with an axolotl. That is Destination Pet Lovers, Sunday night, 9:30, right here on Fox 2548. You'll be online the very next day on wiproud.com. Now, if you got a minute, how do you feel about roundabouts? Or if you're much more formal, the traffic circle. Also, while we're at it, do you know the difference between a roundabout and a traffic circle? I'm so glad you asked. According to the Federal Department of Transportation, traffic circles are much larger than a roundabout, often have stop signs or signals within the circular intersection. Roundabouts are smaller, and vehicles have to yield before entering. Roundabouts typically operate at a relatively low speed, while traffic circles allow higher speeds of over 25 miles an hour. Roundabouts restrict pedestrians from entering the Central Island, while some traffic circles allow pedestrians to cross to and from the Central Island. Well, I'm sure glad the internet was here to clear that up. I bring up roundabouts because, like them or not, they're here to stay. Whether you think they are a death trap akin to the Iron Maiden, where law-abiding citizens go to turn over their pristine driving record and flawless insurance profiles to the excruciating pain of trusting one's own instincts, or if you think they're the coolest thing since NASCAR started doing road courses, they are a thing that's here to stay. We have to get comfortable with them. What's your biggest pet peeve about roundabouts? Because we all have at least one pet peeve about them. Is it the must stop at the yield sign person? Or is it the opposite, the driver who enters the circle like Dale Earnhardt leaving pit row? Personally, for me, it's the nervous nobodies who yield at every single offshoot they come in when inside the circle. Like most everything in the world, I believe that information and knowledge can help with one's love or hatred of the beautifully simple roundabout. Again, according to the Federal Department of Transportation, which, fun fact, is not controlled by the Paw Patrol under this administration, the way to navigate a single-lane roundabout is by reducing your speed as you approach the roundabout, look left for oncoming traffic as traffic moves counterclockwise, yield to vehicles already in the roundabout, wait for a gap, and enter. For multi-lane roundabouts, follow signs and pavement markings to determine the lane or lanes that will serve your destination, then follow tips and procedures for the single-lane roundabout. In other words, pay attention to the signage that will tell you what lane to use, then proceed just like a single-lane roundabout and go about your business.
But Steve, what about emergency vehicles? What do I do then?
So glad you asked. If you have not entered the roundabout, pull over to the right and allow the emergency vehicle to pass. If you've already entered the roundabout, continue to the closest exit and pull over once you are beyond the splitter island to allow the emergency vehicle to pass. Never stop in a roundabout. Hey Steve, what about your pet peeve? Were you wrong? Should we be cool and let people in even though we're already in the circle? Again, great question. So glad you asked. No, you can allow drivers in the circle if the gap between you and the vehicle in front of you allows it. However, you should not stop after crossing the yield line and are actually in the roundabout circle. Hey Steven, one last question. Was all of this so you, an obvious old man yelling at clouds, had an excuse to exercise a mild annoyance that you have been driving your wife crazy with? Well, that's all the time we have on this episode of Living Local. Next week, we'll do it all again with another installment of Building America, built by Your Choice Roofing, the Board Store Home Improvements feature of the week, Amundsen's Appliance Week that was, and the rest of the usual suspects. I'll see you then. Bye now.